Hi everyone, myself Orkojotide, and in this video we are going to solve a beautiful question from lead code, that is minimum number of steps to make two strings anagram. So let's not first jump into the code. Let's read the question carefully, because when you read the question carefully and then formulate a logical solution in your mind or in a piece of paper, that is where 80% of your question is solved, and the other 20% is the coding part. So we should focus upon the logical building up of the answer rather than how can we code, because nowadays the coding can be done by any other like any other AI or languages. The best part that human can do is the logical thinking, or what you can say is the logic building up, right? So we have got the thinking power, so that's why that is called artificial intelligence, and we are having natural intelligence. So in this question you will be given two strings. One is s and another is t. S and t will have same length. You can choose any character of t and replace it with another character, and we have to return the number of steps we need to convert t to make t an anagram of s. So what does anagram means? Anagram of a string, uh, anagram, if two strings are anagram, then the frequency of each element will be same. For example, aab and aba is an anagram. Why? Because in the first aab, a occurs two times and b occurs one times, and in the next string aba, a occurs two times and b occurs one times. So the frequency of each and every character should be equal if we consider two strings as anagram. And here it has been clearly written that the ordering can be different. Like I have said, mm, uh, I and EEY. The ordering is different in these two, but the frequency of each character is same. So that is why we call it as anagram. So if I consider the first example is equals to BAB and T equals to ABA. So how, what is the frequency of B here in S? 2 and A is 1. For T it is ABA. So we need to make T an anagram of S. So we can do it by just converting 1A to B, right? And in the second, so what you can do is, in this question it is given that the first check the constants. By checking the constants we will get to know that what algo or how we should approach the question. So it has been given that 5 into 10 to the power 4. uh, so we can go up to n square, right? Because it is given 5 into 10 to the power 4. 10 to the power 4 square is 10 to the power 8. We can go near about n square, or n log n would work. And s dot length is equals to t dot length. It should be, because as both are anagrams, uh, the frequency of each character that is present in s and in t should be equal. So this is a must condition that their length should be equal, and it is given in the constraints. S and t consist of lowercase English letters only. So what hint can you get from here? From here you can get a pretty good hint that it consists of only lowercase English letters. So can we, as there are only 26 letters in the English alphabet, can we think of making an frequency array? Because an array of 26 size wouldn't cost us so much of space and it would be used to manage the frequencies. So from this one we get to know about that we can make a frequency array. So how we will approach this question? So as soon as I will the question will appear to me, I will first think of brute force solution. How can we actually do that? So if where you can check that, okay, I have got ABB. Let's take an example as uh, BAB and ABA, right? So our frequency array, if I will make a frequency array for S, it will be A as 1 and B as 2. And then what I need to do is I need to change 1A to B. So if I'm changing 1A of T to B, then frequency of A will be decreased by 1 and frequency of B will be increased by 1. So as soon as I will change some frequency, it would affect two indexes, right? This hint can we can get. And let's make a dry run that we make a array as AB, let's suppose. Okay, let's go to the code for better example. Okay, I can make it here. Let's make some space and suppose A and B are the indexes and this is the array, right? And how we are going to make A and B and as indexes, that is pretty simple because lowercase characters, right? So I can use the current character minus of A. So by using that, A will be pointing to 0 index, E will be pointing to 1 index, and that's how I can make it. So if I iterate through BAB, what will I get? A will be 1 and B will be 2. Done. This is my frequency array. And then if I am again iterating at ABA, then what I do, as soon as you get an frequency, the frequency array is already made for S. As soon as you are iterating for S is equals to, sorry, ABA and T equals to BAB, suppose, think it as like that. Actually I have twisted it from the question. Actually I have made it opposite, but it should work, right? Because we are just understanding the concept. And after iterating through S, I have made this frequency array and all the indexes of C, D, E, F, that is 3 index 3 index 4 index 5, all will be 0 because it is a array of length 26. So what I can do is as soon as I'm iterating, I'm traversing through the T, then what I can do, as soon as I encounter a character, let's decrease its frequency by 1. So what I can do, as the pointer is at the zeroth index of t, then I have encountered a b. So b will be decreased to 1, then a will be decreased to 0, and then b will be decreased to 0. Okay, no. So for s, a will be 2 and b will be, what I can do, b will be 1, right? So if I started traversing, after traversing the t string, the frequency character will be, a will be -1 and b will be 1. But we can see that for converting a to b, i I just need uh, one character, right? I just need a change of one character. Like if I will make this b as a, both will get anagram. And as soon as I am changing this b to a, the frequency of a will be decreased by 1 and the frequency of b will be increased by 1. So if I talk in that sense, what it will be, so now let's traverse the whole frequency array and only get add the mod of the eighth index plus the mod of the bth index, that is the number of by 2. This will be your number of operations, right? And if I talk that how is it coming like that, how it is, and your code should work fine. If I get, if I will uh, just visualize this code, public and mean steps, right? So I've made a frequency array of length 26. I have filled the array, each of the indexes, each of the boxes of the array are filled with 0. I've taken the length of s, then I'm just making the frequency array for s, right? And then I am, if I encountered something in the t, then I am decreasing its frequency by 1. And once I have done that, I have again traversing in the frequency array and I am just adding the absolute values of the frequency arrays, and then I am dividing it by 2 and returning it, and your work will be done. And if I talk that how this is going to work, then let's open a drawing app, uh, draw something like paint, right? Paint would solve the job. So let's select a brush, uh, oily brush. How would it look? I don't know. Okay, this is too much of the width. Okay, this should be fine. So our ace is, oh, it looks pretty amazing. S is B A B, right? This is our S, and our T is A A B. So first of all, I'm making a frequency array for, oh, it is a, it's like a bow, right? It is not a frequency array. So this is the eighth index, this is the bth index, and I have already told you how to. And dot dot dot, that is for c, that is for d, and this will all be 0, right? So after traversing the whole is array, I will get b as 2 and a as 1, right? Now how can I make, okay, first I need to traverse in the T8. Oh, anything would work, that's no problem. So now I want to convert S to T. So how can I convert S to T? As you are converting S to T or you are converting T to S, the number of operations would be same. That should not be your guess of how should you think. So as I've encountered A, so I just want to take one A and make it B, right? I just want to do this and my thing will be done. But how can I calculate that how many? As I am converting one A to B, what I am getting is I am getting that I am reducing the frequency of A by 1 and increasing the frequency of B by 1 for the Tth, right? So what I want to do is I want to check that if I am uh, going to make a character to one another, that's why I'm dividing it by two number of operations. That uh, if I change one character to another, then it would increase one frequency by one and one frequency will be decreased by one. So that's why I'm dividing it by two. And if I talk about this thing that uh, these are interconverted because these are anagrams now, right? So what I can do is I can change A. uh, as soon as I encountered A here, I will change A to 0. Now again I will change A to minus of 1 and then B, and then I will get 1. So my new array is minus 1 and 1. So after traversing S and T, minus 1 represents that the frequency difference between S and T. Minus 1, 1, everything represent the frequency difference between S and T. So for each frequency difference, if it is told in the question that for taking out one alphabet it is one operation and inserting an alphabet, the frequency the operation is again considered as one operation, then I would not divide the number of operations by 2. But the frequency difference of S and T, I'm getting it as minus 1 and 1. So what does minus 1 means? Minus 1 means uh, T has this element mode and plus means S has the element mode. So I'm just taking the mod and adding it and dividing it by 2. And this would give my answer pretty easy. Only the intuition part is a little bit difficult. That's why I think it has been given in a medium level question. Otherwise, it is an easy level question. And uh, if I talk about the space and time complexity, the time complexity is what I can say, mean steps, right? For mean steps, array dot fill in. Okay, for big of n plus big of n, right? Big of n and and plus 26. So big of n plus 26. So we can consider it as big of n plus 26 is pretty negligible in front of 5 into 10 to the power 4. Next, I can think the space complexity is big of 26 and 26 is pretty small, so we can consider it is as a constant space. Done. Our question is solved. So if don't, you can check another submission, the first submission that I have done this is the first submission, I think. If you will check this submission, I first traversed for the S. See, this is I first traversed for the S string, then I have traversed for the T string, and then I have calculated number of operation and then returned it by dividing it by 2. So I have done it separately, but in this one I have done it uh, cumulatively, right? See, this I have commented out. So this is a mathematical question.